Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today after that huge mid-season finale for The Walking Dead Season 8. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on the actor's dad weighing in on that huge character death. And spoiler warning, as per usual, if you guys aren't caught up for The Walking Dead up to the Season 8 mid-season finale. So I thought we would start today's Q&A with this one and kind of give our thoughts on. So spoiler warning, Chandler Riggs' father kind of weighing in on his son's character death in the Walking Dead TV series. Of course, Chandler Riggs is alive and well, but Carl is not in good shape, right? So Chicago Tribune has this one. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can go ahead and check it out. It says, the father of a key Walking Dead character vented his frustrations with the show and showrunner Scott Gimple on social media following his son's on-screen death in this Sunday's mid-season finale. It says, watching Gimple fire my son 2 weeks before his 18th birthday after telling him that he wanted him for the next 3 years was disappointing. William Riggs, father of Carl Grimes actor Chandler Riggs, wrote on Facebook, "I never trusted Gimple or AMC, but Chandler did. I know how much it hurt him, but we do absolutely know how lucky we have been to be a part of it all and appreciate all the love from fans all these years." Then it says, in the closing moments of the mid-season finale, Carl revealed to his father, Rick Andrew Lincoln, that he had been bitten by a walker. He did not die at the end of the episode, though, meaning he will get one more episode to say goodbye once the show returns in February. That is a bite on his side. It will play out as bites play out on the show. Gimple said Sunday on Talking Dead. It's very important to Carl's story and the entire story, what happens in the next episode. I'm just focused on the fact that Carl right now is alive and he has some business to attend to. That is a one-way ticket. But I'd like to think that the things we see in the next episode are so important to his life and the other characters' lives. So, we haven't seen 100% the end of Carl. He does still have one more episode left, it sounds like, and there's going to be some things that are important, maybe in his last final moments that maybe he says to Rick or the others, or maybe they kind of decide based on what's happened to him. That will impact the show in the future. So it's kind of hard to kind of judge right now or kind of give our thoughts on this one right now. And, we have been doing lots of videos this week, and if you haven't seen them, they're in the channel. We did an explain video where Chandler Riggs had an interview about this one. We did, all kinds of discussion topics. Is it good? Is it bad for the show? Is it going to hurt the show or help the show? Why would they do it? These kind of things. So there's all those videos in the channel for you guys to check out after this one if you want to. For sure, you can kind of go through those and see what people's comments are, my thoughts, and just where everybody's at with these. Big questions for the series. Where does it leave the future of the show? And, all this is kind of up in the air at this time. Best we can do is probably speculate or give our thoughts on how we're feeling and what we think. So with this one, because we haven't seen the next episode yet, which is episode 9, it's kind of hard to say. So he's basically saying that, we're going to see some other things happen with Carl before he's fully killed off the series. I mean, he's already on his way out, right? But before his time is fully done, that will affect the other characters. So we kind of only have half the picture right now, I want to say. We know he's killing them off. We know that, or they're killing them off. We know that he's on his way out, but we don't know what kind of effect that's going to have on Rick and the others. And, still the question of why is a big one. We'll go through some of your guys' comments. Only Alyssa W. said, my opinion, Carl's age and his acting ability are the reasons why they decide to kill him off. And possibly use a little boy from the kingdom for part of Carl's comic story arc. That crap about him being Rick's moral compass as to why he won't kill Negan is BS. They could have used Morgan for that. In fact, many fans thought that was going to be the plan. I was never a Carl fan, but I didn't want him dead. It's going to be interesting to see how they move forward. So this one is tricky. So not to mention Fear the Walking Dead, but Fear the Walking Dead did something. I won't spoil it because I know a lot of you aren't caught up on it, but they did something in season 3 that was very against the grain and very kind of risky and huge character death that a lot of us didn't foresee coming or didn't think we would see coming. I wonder if because they decided to do that and it was quite the shakeup, that maybe it had an impact on Scott and he decided to do this. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Or if he felt like there had to be a major character death in order to change Rick in a different way, so that he maybe he doesn't decide to do the same thing as he does in the comics, or in the same way. His decision would probably be the same, but he won't do it in the same way as he did in the comics, which felt a little bit like, a little bit, not contrived, but a little bit unnatural. In this way, he's trying to use Carl, it sounds like, to make Rick's decision logic in the future more natural, so it doesn't feel contrived at all, which I think that this will succeed. We'll have to see what happens in episode 9, but most likely, if that's his aim, I mean, seeing your son being killed could definitely change someone, right? It could definitely change somebody. So it's, it's a really tricky question. It really sounds like from Chandler Riggs' side and his family and everybody that they didn't want him to be killed off. He said in the interview that he had bought a house there for filming and that kind of thing, so he could live there and do that. I'm just really not sure at this point. I'm kind of in the middle, and I'm just like, I just don't know. And it's kind of crazy. But if nothing else, at least you're taking a big risk. It is a bold move, as Greg Nicotero said in an interview. It's a very, very bold move to do it. And maybe he's right that you do have to take bold moves if you want to keep people watching and you want to have that kind of series where it's, like if you look at a show like Game of Thrones, where it takes these huge risks and it kills off characters that are right at the top. It kills off, A-listers, your lead of the show. It kills off a lot of these characters, and then the C characters kind of move up from there. And the most unlikely ones are the ones that kind of survive in the long term. So it sounds like maybe they want to take a little bit of that, or kind of create their own kind of, well, I don't want to say they're copying or anything like that, but you guys get what I'm saying with this. They want to mix in a few of these unexpected, crazy character deaths to keep us guessing, keep us on our toes, so that nobody who's read the comics thinks that they have a good understanding of how the TV series is going to go. And one other thing it does, too, is with the comics, it kind of sets them apart so you can enjoy them independently. Maybe a lot of people will like the comic book series version better because you get to see certain characters like Sophia and Carl, and a lot of the others kind of last a lot longer or grow up. Like, for example, in the comics right now, Carl is still alive. So this kill right here is a huge departure from that. I mean, it's just totally going in a different direction. Maybe only Alyssa's right here that maybe, Chandler Riggs' performance, or just the way, maybe not his performance, but maybe just the way it kind of felt in live action, because his costume is a little bit comic booky. It's a little bit wild, right? He's got the cowboy hat on, or the sheriff hat, and he's got the patch and everything. It's a little bit comic booky, right? So maybe it just, they felt like it didn't. I don't know, man. Only they know for sure. Maybe it is just for the writing, for the sake of the story. It just feels like such a bold move that I'm not sure. But we're gonna see how it affects the show and whether or not it was a good thing to do. I suppose anything but just kind of doing the run-of-the-mill kind of thing and, just following the comic book story verbatim and just kind of going with the flow that way, you may lose more viewers. And if you try to kind of shake things up a lot and get people talking, really that is probably what made The Walking Dead and shows like Game of Thrones so popular to begin with, is that you would have them go totally against what you would expect, and then people would talk about it. They'd go and tell their friends, or water cooler talk, that kind of thing. And it really probably helped these shows kind of blow up even bigger. So maybe that's something they don't want to lose, and they don't want it to become like predictable to the point where everybody knows this is going to happen, and then that, and no, Carl's safe, he's going to live all these years, and everything will be fine. If they do it this way, it really does keep people on their toes, and it creates a new version of The Walking Dead, which is not, just an adaptation of the comics. It's kind of like a independent, its own thing, which at this point with this kill, I would say it's such a derivation, or it's so different from the comic version and where it's setting it up in the future that it really is separating the two more so than it was before. Tar21 says, I never liked Carl or TV Carl. I'm so happy he's finally gone. It's the best Christmas present ever. Thank you so much, Scott Gimple. You are my hero. So not everybody's pissed off. A lot of people like Tar. It sounds like his name's Tar. But he approves, it sounds like. XD says, them killing off Carl this early proves the show is going to end soon. And I think that's an interesting observation, or maybe it's that because the show is getting close to 10 seasons, they really want to shake things up because they don't want people to get bored of the show, or they don't want people to leave. They don't want people to kind of, think that they've got it all figured out. They want to keep us guessing to the point where we never feel certainty about which characters are going to live and which characters not. They don't want, it sounds like to me, with going this route, you're taking people that are in the know for the comics, you're taking them out. So the people that are in the know, that know which character is going to live this long or that long, and you're really saying, no, you don't know. And that's kind of exciting, to see them do that. So I don't know if it necessarily means the show's going to end sooner rather than later, because he is kind of, at least in the comic version, he's the future of the comics. For the TV series version, I guess he's not, and maybe they are a little bit like, okay, we need to do something here to try to get these ratings back on track. I don't know if that from season 7, the big dip and the ratings after the premiere, and then just all the way through for the end of the season, maybe they did want to kind of do that to kind of shake things up for the show, and so people didn't feel like they had a good clear understanding. Really split things from the comic to TV series version. J.P. Walker Slayer 97 number 2 says, I think the producers made a great choice by killing off the Carl character because it makes the TV series way less predictable for us hardcore comic readers, and that's absolutely true. I mean, that's for sure, because if you do like a top 5 list of which characters are or were the safest, and I've done this in the past before, I always had Carl, at least to my memory, he would have been at least in the top 10, but he probably would have been in the top 5 most of the time. Carl is one of the closest ones because he was regarded as the future of the series, and them doing this really kind of tells us that we have to watch, and then also to find out what's going to happen, but then also that we really don't know. Even if you've read the comics, that's great, but you still don't know what they're going to do, and that keeps it exciting. Even though, for sure right now, it's going to suck to be Chandler Riggs, it's going to suck to be his family, because you have expectations. You go in thinking the comic series lasts this long, I'm safe, I'm good, I got this, high-paying job, on the biggest TV show on cable or on TV, drama series on TV, and I'm good to go. There's my career right there. Another 5 or 6 years, and he probably would be, that'd be it. He probably wouldn't need to work anymore, what have you. So good luck to him, though, and at least in this way, there's a positive spin to it as well, too, for him, is that this way they kill him off now before the series goes too long, and then maybe more people stop watching. Because if the series fizzled out into like season 12, 13, 14, let's say, if he was still in it at that time and still a lead, at that point, the show might only be getting 4 million, 5 million views, per episode or something like that, which is still probably enough to keep it on. But it may not be at like this 15 million or, this huge range that it was at a couple years ago. So at least if they're killing him off now, it's kind of like he's being killed off in the limelight. He's being killed off before the series runs too long. So you could see something like John Bernthal, where he gets killed off in season 2 as Shane, and then he goes to do The Punisher, he goes to do Wolf of Wall Street, he goes to do all these other, Fury and all the other movies. He's just had a crazy career, right? So being killed off, early like that, or at the pinnacle of where the show is at, could actually be a good thing for their career if they can go land some big movie roles and stuff like that, which generally might pay even more than what Walking Dead would, right? So, who knows? Good luck to him, though, and it might, for him in his career, it might actually be a good thing if he can land some really good parts, which he might be able to because of his notoriety. If you look at Sonequa Martin Green, who played Sasha, she's now leading the new Star Trek series, right? So, it could, you can look at it, depends how you want to look at it. It could be a really bad thing because it's like, okay, I lose this gig, but then maybe just because people know you, like if he went for a walk down the street in, New York or something, or L.A., how many people would ask for an autograph right now? I bet you a lot of freaking people. People know him, so it's, I'm sure he'll be just fine. People will be calling. People will want to get him in their project because it's just going to help their stuff. If you get him in a movie or something, people are going to be like, oh, he was Carl in Walking Dead. I got to go see this movie. So, of course, producers and directors and all that are going to want to get him into stuff, because then it's just going to help them, with whatever he's going to do next. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that. But it does make it less predictable for J.P. Walker. And the last one will be from Max555, who says, I was about to say in the last minutes of the sewer scene, so no one dies in the mid-season finale, and then they reveal Carl's bite wound. That's true, man. Right up until the end there, it's like nobody really of any importance. There's like Neil or whatever, I don't even know. It's like background, D character type of thing gets killed off, but other than that, it's like, oh, it's a mid-season finale and nobody dies. That's true that this is The Walking Dead, so they have to choose somebody. So here and there, maybe every couple years, they choose somebody like Andrea or Carl that you just don't expect at all, and it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you not in a sense of security or understanding of which way they're going to go, right? So that's yeah, man, that's true. And it was a great half. I'm still thinking about whether or not it was like my favorite half ever. I don't know if I can say that, but that was a huge thing to do in the mid-season finale. And at the very least, I mean, it's a big change, and it kind of, in some ways, can reinvigorate the show, because you just really don't know what they're going to do going forward in the back half, and how things are going to stay similar to the comics and how they're going to change. So really exciting stuff. I'll call it here for today's video because I got to go to work, guys. But you guys have yourselves a great day, and I hope you've been enjoying the videos this week. We'll keep right on ticking here. Hope you're having fun doing some Christmas shopping if you're not done yet. I haven't started yet. Oh, man, it's like I got a week left. I'm in trouble. Hope you guys like this video. If you did, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, you can subscribe at the bottom. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.